Hey guys, what's up? Spartacus here. Today I got a shorter but extremely essential video for you guys, especially for the newer Ark players. We're taking a look at the 5 creatures that are a must for absolutely any player in Ark. You see, Ark is a game of variety, and usually there's more than one creature that can do a certain job. However, I would argue that these 5 creatures are almost irreplaceable, and you will need them for all of your playthroughs, as long as they're available to tame. Let's check them out. Okay, so we're starting off with the Casteroid. During your time spent in Ark, you will consume literally tons of wood for either building, crafting, or just as fuel, and you'll find that the Casteroid will make your life much easier in this regard. Besides proficiency in wood collection, they also have a 50% weight reduction for wood. In my best wood collectors video, I found out both the Mammoth and the Therizino are better wood collectors. So why the Casteroid? Well, it comes down to convenience. The Casteroid tends to be found in regions not as hostile as the Mammoth, and they're completely harmless compared to a Therizino. They take the least amount of tranks to knock out, and they can be bollard. Plus, they can be used as underwater mounts for you to explore the ocean with. The only downside is that level 61 saddle. Next, we have a similar creature in the Doedicurus. The next resource that you will use in abundance and is a pain in the ass to get is stone. You need stone to build, to craft, for cementing paste, spark powder, a lot of things. That's why we have the Doedic. With a 75% weight reduction for stone, a 5-star proficiency for gathering, a low level saddle, and a pretty easy taming process, this guy is by far the best at its job. The only downside is that they can roll up when you tame them if they're low on health, reducing the incoming damage by a lot, so it's best to use strength darts from the get-go to tame it. Not much left to say, so go ahead and tame one, you will need it. On the third spot, we have the last resource gathering type, and the most important, the Ankylosaurus. This is your rare resource collector dino, such as crystal, obsidian, oil, and most importantly, metal. The guy has 85% weight reduction for metal and a 5-star proficiency in gathering it. Pair that with the level 36 saddle, a really easy taming process, and you got yourself the best miner in the game. You'll have to use tons of metal throughout your game, especially for ammo. The Yankee has very decent stats, being able to both withstand a beating and dish out some real damage, making him a really good base guardian. It can also be your berry collector, being better than the Casteroid in that regard, and having a lower saddle. This guy will make metal gathering a piece of cake, so yeah, go ahead and get yourself one. The next creature will probably surprise a lot of newer players, since it's a shoulder pet. Are those that important? Well, this one is. The Otter is one of the best shoulder pets in the game. Now, why is that? Well, because it will grant you fortitude based on its melee stat, making you more resistant to both cold and heat, which is a big thing in Ark. There are some places like the Ice Cave on the island, or the mythical realm Jotunheim, where only using the fursuit won't be enough, so you really need all the help you can get. Now, the second important ability that the Otter possesses is to hold artifacts in its inventory, making it easier to get multiple artifacts from a cave by simply exiting the cave, waiting a bit, and then going back to the artifact room where you'll find another artifact ready to be collected. No other creature can do that, so you can quite see why this guy is irreplaceable. Not even the player is able to store 2 pieces of the same artifact in its inventory. It can also collect pearls from fish, and works as a good backpack, since you only feel half the weight of its inventory. So yeah, the Otter is a must, especially on maps with extreme temperature regions. And number 1 is of course the Argentavis. This flyer is amazing. It reduces the weight of some of the most valuable resources in the game, and already possesses a decent weight stat among the flyers. It can be your meat and hide collector, as it possesses good melee damage and a potent healing ability. But the real reason why you will need this is because it can pick up a lot of creatures. In fact, the true reason why I chose the Casteroid as the wood collector is because it can be picked up by the Argent. All 3 resource gatherers on this list are best used when combined with an Argent, where the resource gatherer collects the resources beyond its weight limit, making use of their respective weight reduction, and then the Argent can just pick them up and move them to new resources or take them back home. Or you can even use the resources on the spot, as the saddle doubles up as a smithy. It's not uncommon to see players having at least one Argent Avis with most of the points poured into weight, reaching 1.5 or 2k weight. Now, you can use other flyers to pick dinos up, such as the Quetz or the Wyvern, but none of them are as easy to tame as the Argent. The trap is really simple to make, and you can even tame it while on foot, though I would recommend having a mount nearby just in case. And yeah, that's it. These are the 5 creatures that you absolutely need in Ark. But that doesn't mean you don't need other creatures to beat the game, such as the caving creatures, some water mounts, and of course a boss army. But for all of these you have multiple good choices, so just pick your poise. That's it for this one, guys. See you in the next one. Spartacus out.